Today I have a very special guest. It is someone known as the Greatwaley, and this is a great man. One thing about the two of us is that we are trans men, and in the past, Dana was incredibly hot as a woman's bodied person. Would you talk a little bit about how sexually attractive you were?
Sure. Yeah, everyone always told me I should have been a supermodel, because I'm super tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and I don't know, it was nice, but I didn't necessarily like it because I figured everyone just saw me because I was pretty, not because I was a nice person or a good person. So I didn't really like being that sexually attractive.
Yeah, people were focusing on your looks.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, just like on a real theoretical level, and this is thinking like way outside the box, but let's say you were a cisgender woman in your body, your birth body. Do you think that you would go out with me if I like asked you on a date? Just like real theoretical.
I have a feeling I'd be a lot more conceited and like narcissistic, so probably not.
So I'd be like too small?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, but
no, lay it down.
I always think about that. It's like I would probably be a total bitch if I weren't trans, because it makes you so much nicer.
What kind of guy do you think you'd date? I mean, or
like really tall, jock, probably not a nice guy. Just yeah, I'd probably.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's your perception.
Yeah.
Well, there goes the rest of my questions that were follow-up questions about like if like I proposed to you at Arches National Park, and because we'd have a big Catholic wedding, and probably like right now it'd be like our 3rd anniversary, and you'd have our second child on the way out of 6. Right
6?
Yeah. But okay, so well, I guess the thing is like thinking about like, well, what if we were cisgender and all that stuff. I mean, the fact is, we were both at one time, seen as women, and you were really hot, and I was pretty average looking, kind of manly and stud-like. Not just kidding. No. But it's like that was a very fake time. Mm-hmm. Would you agree? Like it was incredibly fake time.
Yeah.
When you are transgender, you may have like the best genetics and you might be like the hottest man who is really a woman. You might look like the hottest, and you might have like the best beard, but you're a woman, so it's all wasted on you. And you might be like tall and athletic and vain and incredibly mean to me in my theoretical. Anyway,
your theoretical love story.
Yes, it broke my heart. So anyway, all these things might be true, but still there is this intense pain, right, and this isolation, and people like nowadays I find, or not nowadays, but there are people who don't understand, and they're like you could have been normal, you could have like just dealt with it, or like why, like you're not really a man now, and what I always think is like, what, my parents love me. I have a girlfriend, and that's great, and nothing else really matters. Like, it doesn't matter what people say. If people say like you're not a real man, or like you're like the people that get that real tunnel vision about.
Well, I get people saying how why would you give up that incredible privilege of being like a beautiful woman to transition to being just kind of an average guy, and I was like, because of happiness. That's
Yeah.
I could have continued staying how I was, but
not really though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't continue like
that.
It's
it would have been a totally fake life and just not happy at all. So
yeah,
I'm much more happy now.
I just want to say to the viewers out there, to those of you who are transgender, it's it really feels good, to be at this place where you have hormonally changed and you're perceived in this much more true way, and it opens a door for you to process a lot of the feelings that transgender people are born with, and it is hard for some people out there who are in a place where they can't, you know, they don't have the access to going through with the transition. They don't have the support of their family and friends, and that is a hard time and a hard place. And my strength and prayers are with you out there.
For sure.
And then there are some people, you know, who aren't ready to transition, or maybe they don't even need to, and you are still like dealt this really hard, you know, hand in life and a big burden. But it is amazing to be able to see this thing in this place. As far as like some of the gifts like of being trans, would you say that you have a strong understanding of the difference between men and women and that sort of thing?
Yeah, as far as I guess I do. Yeah.
Tell me more about what the hesitation was.
Well, it just depends on what sense that you're talking about. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know, what are you talking about?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, you know, being transgender gives you this certain bridge, you know,
Yeah.
between genders, and it helps you see this full spectrum. And there are a lot of things about, you know, men and women and the boxes that we're in that are total lies.
Yeah.
And then there are some things that really, you know, do vary between men and women that are really obvious, and yeah, it's pretty interesting being in this place.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting because you have an intimate knowledge of the female side of things, and then you have an understanding of the male side of things. You know, still getting used to it, being perceived as a man in our society. But I kind of like the knowledge, and you know, you understand the difficulties that each one has to go through. Like, yes, we kind of did transition into privilege, I guess you could say, you know, being a white male in our society, but at the same time I feel almost more pressure all the time.
Really?
As being a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to perform up to standards and
Yeah.
different stuff. Like I felt like I had a lot more leeway as a female of making mistakes.
Right.
And you know, oh, if I got a C on this test, oh, it's okay. But as you know, as a guy, it's like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
It's kind of weird. But I have a lot of empathy for both sides, I guess I should say.
And when it comes to those standards, that is one of the hardest things about, you know, that was hard for me to get my mind over. You know, I was really miserable in you know, a female body and being perceived as a woman. But then thinking about like, well, if I do transition, I'm going to be a small man. I'm not going to be everything that I was meant to be. I'm going to be a little bit awkward. My proportions are going to be awkward, and tall, beautiful, blonde women won't really see me as their equal.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay, but it's just an
I was just thinking honestly.
Yeah. Things like
No,
that.
I understand.
That's hard. But
understand.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.